No, we're never going to change that theme music. I promise you that. I got a couple of letters about that, but the answer's no. I like it. I'm Larry Jacobs. This is Pre-K-12 Education Talk Radio. Thank you so much for listening today, which happens to be the 28th of November, 2023. We appreciate you listening today or on the archives. And as you know, we archive everything over at our home website of the American Consortium for Equity in Education, our company, The Voice. We are the voice of the consortium over at ace-ed.org. Our magazine is over there. All the podcasts are over there. A lot of great information over there. Excellence in Equity Awards information is over there. It's all free. Please check it out over at ace-ed.org. And today, although I live in Maine on a bright sunny day on this 28th of November, okay, we are heading down to an even prettier place, which I'm sure is a bit warmer than today, than it is up here. Okay, that would be South Carolina. I'm going to bring them on right now. We're going to talk to the what's called, and I have a feeling I don't know exactly what this stands for, but I have a feeling I know what it stands for. The DenStar Teacher Design Team, which is a state of South Carolina initiative, along with my good friends over at Discovery Education. And here representing Discovery is Andrea Lance, who's Discovery Education Senior Manager of Statewide and Strategic Partnerships, I believe just down in South Carolina. We're talking about, Andrea, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're in South Carolina. It's nice and warm and sunny here today, so a lot different than where you are. But
let's see. Hold on. I'm going to turn around and check the thermometer. Hold on. It's a beautiful 29 degrees. Beautiful sunny day.
Oh, man.
29. I'm not wearing a jacket when I go outside. It's so warm. It's so lovely. It's so wonderful. Right, Niesha? How you doing, Niesha Butler?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fine. My name's Larry. You can call me Larry Jacobs here, and it's a pleasure to be talking to you. Okay? Niesha works at the what is it? Richland Schools? Tell me what schools you work at. Richland. Excuse me, I had it down there. I couldn't find it. Richland School District number 2. So
exactly.
Tell me where that is. Tell me where that is.
We are in Columbia, South Carolina, in the capital city.
And why is it called Richland?
That's our county, Richland County.
Oh, got it. Okay, so it's the Richland County School District number 2. Thank you. Located in Columbia, South Carolina, the capital. Got it. Correct. Everything's cool right there. Now, you should talk to us about what you do. We're going to get all this together in just a few seconds. We're going to be talking about teacher design teams, unleashing the power thereof, okay, statewide. But tell me about your school and where you work and what you do.
Okay. So in Richland, too, I am a technology coach. Some in other states and districts is technology integration specialist. So, what I do is provide PD for teachers to help them integrate technology into their classrooms with the students and, provide support with device management, all the things.
That's great. And do you work at central administration for the school district? Or do you work at a particular school?
We are fortunate enough to have one of me in every school. So, yes, K-12, we have one of me in every single school in Richland School District, too. So that's one fortunate piece of information for you, because a lot of them, there's just like one, and they have maybe 4, 5 schools. I think Andrea has a background working in this position in another school district, and she had multiple schools.
Yeah, it's amazing. So this is Discovery's newest product, a Niesha Butler cloning machine, one in every school. Am I correct?
Yes.
Couldn't be better. Couldn't be better. I got to ask you this. This is actually it's a question that I was prepared for today's show. The teacher design team, okay, according to my notes to prepare the show, is called DenStar, DenStar. And I have a feeling the DE stands for Discovery Education, and the N might stand for network. Okay? My good buddy Wakefield up at headquarters did not tell me this, but I know this well enough. Am I right? Am I right? Go ahead, Andrea. Tell us
You're
what
correct.
Dead Star is. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you are absolutely right. You have
There
to
you
really
go.
use your context clues to figure that one out. So, yes, it is the Discovery Educator Network.
Working with Stephen is like having your own personal Wordle. That's all I can tell you.
I know,
That's
right?
that simple. Yeah.
Gotta love Stephen. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, you do. I love him dearly.
Yeah, but the teacher design team is really an offshoot from the Discovery Educator Network program. The Discovery Educator Network program has been around forever, and it's a really amazing program for teachers who utilize our program to, connect, grow, share what they learn with others. The design team model is going a little bit deeper. It really came about because I wanted to create a space for teachers to come together as professionals. So I'm a former educator, classroom teacher. I believe you may have educational background in that as well.
I do.
And teachers have planning periods, right? But if you know the life of a teacher, much of their planning.
Not enough time. They need as much time as possible for teacher planning, but we'll move on from that point. Go ahead.
For sure. But, you spend most of your day addressing student needs or attending conferences. You never really have time to really professionally have conversations with others. I had amazing teachers in my building, but was I ever able to observe their class or see the amazing things that they're doing? So this particular design team model or experience is really to provide educators the space to come together as professionals, to be creative, have a voice in decision-making, refine their practices through Discovery Ed, where they're creating lessons that meet some type of learning needs within the state of South Carolina. So Niesha was amazing. We had a meeting back in June with other Discovery Educator Network stars, Den stars, and she was one of the first to really raise her hand and say, hey, I would love to be part of this different professional learning experience where I get to work with others and collaborate and create something new.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, the Niesha cloning machine is available at Discovery. Just call my friend Stephen. He'll be able to get you one.
I wish he could.
It's a very fine product, I have to tell you. Okay. And I just want to ask this before I get back to Niesha. Andrea, you're working with, what is the state of literally the State Department of Education? Are they involved at all in what you're doing here? The way that I have this phrased here, okay? Or are you guys just trying to organize the state in the Discovery Education Network, all the teachers that are in there? How's this working?
That's an amazing question. That's a really great question, Larry. Yeah, so it's very unique. So South Carolina is unique in so many ways.
It is.
But, they're one of the first states to really have the vision and say, you know what, we want to create a central place for all teachers and all students to go for high-quality digital resources. So they're one of the very first states to say, hey, let's create something known as the Instruction Hub. So Discovery Education is one of many resources in this central location that all teachers throughout our state can go to access Discovery Ed. So it does not matter if you're a teacher in a rural district and, only have a couple of resources in your large urban district. Every single teacher and student has access to the same high-quality resources. So as a champion for equity, that gives me extra in my job every single day of really building awareness of this amazing resource that teachers and students have.
Yeah, and I'm going to say something, I've said this so often, too many people see the industry of which Discovery is part of, the education industry, as a sales rep, okay, who simply comes and, tries to sell you a decent product, okay, every few months. And that's not the way the industry usually works. And this is a classic example of how the industry, which knows a heck of a lot about education and Discovery, I've been working with you guys for years, okay, to take what the industry knows and make it work for everybody makes sense. And I have to say something else about this. Nobody needs to spend their time reinventing the wheel. There are teachers doing what I would say Niesha needs in another corner of the state, and nobody gets them together. Okay, and that's why this is so important. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You got to find that community that makes sense. And I'm so glad Discovery's doing this. I'm so glad the state of South Carolina had the insight to do this. Okay, and I think it's just terrific the way this works because educators have been siloed for too long, and that's one of the problems we've been having. when you're all alone and siloed, it's not good. Once you start talking to everybody and seeing the challenges are the same and the solutions are the same, you can get more things done. Okay, and that's all I have to say. That's my rant for today. Thank you very much, Andrea and Niesha. Thank you. Okay, but I do, just to me, it's all the things you're doing. It's so important. So, Niesha, talk to me about how did you participate in the design team?
Okay, so as Andrea said, when this came about, it was something that really spoke to me because I am really passionate about education and about empowering teachers and meeting the needs of students at all times. And so when she gave us this opportunity, then my task or our task in our cohort was to create studio boards that were aligned with South Carolina standards. So that teachers would have a bank to pull from as they were targeting some of those hard to teach, hard to digest standards for students. And so for this, this really meant taking a deep look at our standards, taking a deep look at our learners, our learning outcomes, and thinking really deeply about how I can make these lessons come to life. And so this, through this process, I learned a lot about myself, my creativity, but the reward of it was so beneficial to me. It was amazing once I saw the finished product and was able to share it with the team and get feedback, and we kind of bounce ideas off of each other throughout the process. This process was so rewarding. I really think that more teachers should be involved in something very similar to this across the board with so many different content areas, because they have that unique lens that they can look at, to consider the environment, the behaviors, the time on task, all those things that are overlooked by big companies that are creating products for teachers to use in the classroom. Teachers to be at the forefront and guiding this. They need to be the ones guiding this. This was just a unique experience that I'm so happy to be a part of. I'm glad Andrea brought this to fruition.
Yeah, I'm glad too, and I have to ask. And one thing I want to was this a physical meeting or was it a Zoom meeting? What are we actually talking about when you say the group met?
I'll say it was hybrid. So we had both. We had physical and we had virtual meetings.
Huh. Which one were you?
Yes.
Niesha.
We were both. Our initial meeting was where we had our DenStar meeting. We met with a bunch of Palmetto DenStar participants, and that's when the idea came about. And then we had virtual meetings, and then we all came together at the end. But it was a hybrid of both.
Yeah, that's cool. Where did you all come together at?
At the Discovery Ed headquarters.
We were able to come to
Discovery headquarters in Maryland? Hold on, wait a minute, stop. You all went up to Maryland? Is that where you went?
No, we actually have a headquarters in Charlotte, North Carolina. So
thank you.
Since South Carolina, very close proximity, and again, how amazing these educators are. They were willing to drive to Charlotte, North Carolina, to meet with other fellow South Carolina educators. So we spent half a day in headquarters just talking with other folks within Discovery Education. They were able to learn about back in June, so they got a heads up on all the new products and features for back to school. And during our time together, they really were able to share out, what they needed the most as educators right now.
Sure.
And as a team, they said, you know what, we really need certain types of lessons, certain types of resources. And they said, we would love to come together and meet that need for other teachers just like me. And Niesha was one of those folks that said, yes, I raised my hand. If you bring us back together, I'm glad to work on this. And because it was right before the beginning of the school year, we met virtually once a month for 3 months. And then we culminated our learning together by coming back. All the great folks at Discovery were able to look at the boards they created, ask questions about it, and now we're in the process of trying to share out those boards throughout the state through the Instruction Hub.
Well, that's nice. And I know this is an acronym somewhere, but it's DEN. It's the DenStar, but that's Discovery Education Network. I'm going to ask Andrea this. What's the STAR stand for? It stands for something. I know it. Does it?
A star in the sky.
Oh, okay. So it's not
shining by.
Welcome to education. I thought it was an anagram of something. You know, like state teachers are wonderful or something. You know? Yeah.
No.
Yeah. You know, thank you. So it's DEN, Discovery Education Network Star. I'm getting it now. Okay,
yes.
I'm getting it all. Okay, this is just great. Okay, so actually, let's go back to something you just said, Andrea. You know, you guys. Discovery gets a lot, and teachers get a lot from each other. What you said they were looking for even more creative resources, okay? And let me just say, and I only wish student teachers could go and attend something like this because they need to know how everybody's working to make education better. Okay, this is a tough time to be in education right across the whole country. Okay, coming out of the pandemic, everything's changing, social media, you know the whole story. Okay.
Yeah.
And so Niesha, when you go and you have the opportunity to talk to a company like Discovery, you can provide with all these things. What did the group kind of ask for? What did you say? You're one of the superstars.
Well, it was great because we were actually able to meet with. This was my first time being with a company where we actually met with the Discovery team. I mean, the product development team, and actually felt value. Like, we talked about what teachers were looking for as far as like time, access to resources, how do we get engaging lessons for students that are, you know, created, that we don't have to sit down and start to create from scratch. We talked about some of the things that we saw that other companies had as a resource, and can we pull those into Discovery Ed? Is that something you can create? They took those ideas and they made it so. So there are things that, you know, you had to look outside for. You don't have to do that anymore. And I felt like our ideas were taken into consideration because we see it now. We see it on the platform.
Well, what's an example? May I ask what's an example of that? I love hearing this. I just love to hear something. Maybe I'll ask Andrea. I don't know. I don't want to put you in the spot. Andrea,
I was speaking
whatever.
vaguely because I don't want to, you know, speak on another. So let's say like there's Ed Puzzle, and they have a feature where within instructional videos for students, you can embed questions for students, like to like stop and think about reflective questions for them to make sure they're paying attention, they're understanding. Well, that was a feature that Discovery Ed didn't have. They had the videos, but you had to kind of, you know, be there to stop the video and then ask a question. So now they have embedded a quiz feature. And so within video like Ed Puzzle, and you don't have to pay for it. Teachers were paying for this. You don't have to pay for it because the state already pays for Discovery Ed.
Yeah.
So they embedded that feature, and now it's there and it's available to students to use. It's available for teachers. So you can assign lessons for students, and that's already available. You can monitor. They have graphs on there that you can see the students' attention, if they're answering the questions correctly, where they're getting things wrong, where the misconceptions lie. Like, the information is so rich.
I don't know. When I was a kid, I used to write the answers on my arm and wear a long sleeve shirt. Anybody still doing that? Nobody even knows what a pen is. They can't write. They have to imprint it somehow. Okay. What can I tell you? It's really cool. I mean, that's really cool stuff, and good for Discovery for putting that up there. I mean, just for listening. Let me say it that way. I'm going to say it that way, for listening. So let me ask this. Niesha, when you go back to school, okay, and what happened with all this information? And just tell us, you know, how are you using this all on a day-to-day basis with the teachers in your school? By the way, what's the name of your school? I forgot to ask that.
My school is Joseph Kills Elementary School.
And just talk about that. Brag a little. Tell the kids will listen to this or something. Brag a little. Tell us about the school.
Okay, well, we're at an amazing school. We are Avid District. We have great things going on within our community. We have a lot of mentoring programs at our school. It's really like a family kind of oriented, because our school is within a community.
Nice.
So we love that about our environment, you know, and it's just that we take care of each other and we take care of the community around us. We have volunteers coming in all the time. There's a lot of programs going on for the students. a lot of community service that they do. We have an assisted living home that's across the street from our school, and the kids go over there. The chorus goes over there, and they sing songs with the elderly. They love it. Like, the community that the school is in is very welcoming.
Right. And to go to an assisted living place, the seniors there have so much. The people, maybe they're not seniors, but whatever, they have so much to offer to the kids, and the kids have so much to offer to them.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's a lovely thing.
They love for them to go over. The kids love. That's one of their best field trips. They love going over there. They love it. They talk about. They look forward to it.
I bet the kids are getting almond joys regardless of whether it's Halloween. I know what's going on.
They go to Thursday to sing some holiday songs with them, and the kids yesterday were talking about, we go over to go to assisted living on Thursday. I can't wait because I love spending time with them, and they do crafts with them, they sing with them. It's an amazing experience for them.
That is so important for both sides of that age equation. I got to tell you, that's just wonderful. Yes. It really is. It's just a lovely thing to hear. I got to say, and I bet like I said, I think the older people are giving the younger people candy. I wouldn't be surprised. Just be careful with that. Who cares? Enjoy the almond joy. It just makes when you go back with this kind of information, and you have all the discovery information at your disposal all the time. Now there's even more. All right. How do the teachers react to all this? How do you get this info to the teachers in your school? What happens?
Well, okay, so I sometimes have opportunities at our faculty meeting to speak about things. So I took advantage of that 2 weeks ago and talked about the experience with Discovery Ed. I'm typically pushing out Discovery Ed as one of the resources, since it is a state-funded resource that is available to all the teachers, and I want them to be able to use it. I want the students to be able to use it and know that they can use it. It is safe. They don't have to worry about it. It's not like, the kids going to YouTube. So it is safe. It's been vetted. They won't have those ads and things on there. They're strictly educational resources. They're engaging resources for students. When we have parent universities, I talk about it with parents as a resource that they can use at home with the students when they're on break, when they need extra help with something, and during the summers. So any opportunity I have to talk about it, I do. I talk to teachers about, pulling it in as a resource for instruction, for providing visuals. And then I show the teachers the professional development resources that they have, and then the strategies that they have. They have SOS strategies. So the strategies that they can have to improve their teaching practice in the classroom. We have a lot of new and novice teachers that just need a toolbox of resources. I was going to ask you that. And they don't know where to pull from. Yeah. And Discovery Ed is pretty much a one-stop shop, and they are not complacent with where they are, and that's one thing I like about them, is that they are continuing to take the ideas and suggestions and make their platform better for teachers and for students.
Yeah, thank you for all that, and you're absolutely right. And I'll just say it this way: we are facing, and I'm sure you are too, the district, not necessarily the school, a teacher shortage, a teacher retention challenge. That's nationwide. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
And everybody's struggling, so it has nothing to do with any given school or anything like that. And the more help we can give, and this is where the power of technology comes in. It's all there. You don't have to fight as hard as you used to. It's there. You just have to learn to use it. All right? And that's what's so wonderful and so important about what you guys are doing, I have to tell you. So as we wind down here, what's next? I'll ask Andrea this. Andrew, what's next?
Yeah, we're super excited. What is next? So you're going to continue doing this teacher design team model with others.
It's a good idea.
And starting with, believe it or not, Richland School District too. So again, the overall, at the end of the day, really and truly, like I was sharing before, we want to create an opportunity for teachers to come together, to collaborate, to create and to grow. And if you look at most professions like lawyers and architects and doctors, they're continually looking at their field, new techniques, new research, new ideas, and so forth. So we want to provide.
And they're constantly collaborating. They're constantly trying to see what's new out there.
Absolutely. We want to weave in PD with teacher experience as well.
Yeah, and I'd like the teachers to get paid like doctors for a change. That'd be nice. Okay.
Right.
Well, without the teachers, there wouldn't be any doctors. So let's think about that. Okay, it's that simple, and really, it's just also important what you're doing. How do people access this, Andrea? They just go to discoveryed.com, or where should they go just to learn more?
Yeah, for sure. So number one, Discovery Education has been brought to every single teacher in the state of South Carolina through the South Carolina Department of Ed. So to learn more about the Instruction Hub, which is where teachers should go to access Discovery, they would go to www.ed.sc.gov, and keyword is Instruction Hub. But to learn more about the Discovery Education Network program, yes, they would go to discoveryeducation.com and explore the Discovery Education Network to apply and to be part of this amazing experience.
Yeah, and it's a good experience with great people who really do care, and the proof of the pudding is in that visit to Charlotte when everybody did stop and listen. They listened. Yeah. Okay, and that's what Discovery does. Thank you, Niesha. Have a good holiday. I know one holiday ended. The next one comes in 2 weeks. Get through it.
Yes. Thank you.
Got it.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're always welcome. And thank you for being here. You're a wonderful educator. Andrea, thank you and everybody over at your company for what you guys do. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
You're
welcome.
Larry. Have a good day and a good upcoming holiday, everybody. Okay? Thank you so much, both of you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Niesha and Andrea, discoveryeducation.com. It's the Discovery Education Network that creates all this collaboration. You can check it all out at discoveryeducation.com, and you can see how well it works. All right, I'm Larry Jacobs. This is Pre-K-12 Education Talk Radio. Thanks for listening.